QH, living the dream.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to our very own Cura Radio studio. And my name is Miss Nantigalelo Victoria Mpeshwa, also known as Tichinziki. So tell me, when you look up, do you think that can be me? Are you aspiring to be a pilot? Do you have the desire to fly and stretch your horizon? Well, guess what? You can start today, as young as you are. Yes, you heard me. It starts today. Hashtag, they say the stars are the limit. So with us today, on our very own Cura Radio studio, we have Miss Teachers Pesike, who is our aviation school coordinator, and we'll be interviewing Mr. David, a pilot all the way from Namibia. So please sit back and get ready with those questions and be part of this amazing discussion. And if you want to find out more about the aviation program, don't hesitate to contact the high school teachers and get more information regarding that. But enough chatting for now. Let's get into it.
Okay, so as you know, I'm Tawan Kambule and I'm here with Party, right?
Hello.
So just going to the straightforward, just going to the questions as they are is question number one: how many pilots are needed or necessary for each flight?
How are you guys? It's good to be on. Thank you for having me. It really is dependent on the operation. It depends if you are flying like the really, really big aircraft or if you're flying like one of the smaller ones that only carries about 5 or 10 people. I can tell you now that my aircraft that I fly is a 2-seater operation. So there's a captain and a co-pilot, or a captain and a first officer, or as we like to call them, pilot flying and pilot monitoring, when we swap our duties. But on the small aircraft, it just, like I said, depends on the operation. So normally only one pilot required.
Wow. Every time I fly, I always wonder what goes on in the cockpit. Next question. Can commercial pilots fly all aircraft models?
No. So we have to do special ratings by different companies. So when I want to fly an aircraft, I need to obviously pay a company that has the equipment needed for me to do that sort of training on that aircraft. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of technical that goes into it. You have to do exams on all the engine parts and everything like that. And for my training on my aircraft that I did was at a special facility at Comair. And it was a full motion sim, so it mimics all of the motion and movement of the real aircraft. And we had to do around 40 hours of training on that before I was able to endorse it on my license.
Oh my word. Jesus
But then
Christ.
maybe some of the small aircraft, maybe not so technically advanced, a couple of hours and you're good to go.
Wow.
No, that is
wow.
I can't imagine sitting down
40 hours. Yo, that's a lot.
No ways. And question number 2 is, do you mind to tell us a little bit about your journey?
About my journey. Okay, I've been in the aviation industry for about 10 years now. I actually started in school when I was in high school in grade 11, and I flew helicopters. I'm a Cares boy. Just putting it out there. And it was a pretty intense juggle between schoolwork and flying, but I somehow made it work.
Wow.
I flew helicopters for a little bit and then decided to go more professional, in a sense. I saw the fixed wing industry, or like flying the big commercial jets, as the more professional path for me.
Yeah.
And then converted,
Imagine having to juggle high school. Oh my word. So already. So question 4, what has been the highlight of your career?
Highlight of my career. That's a really, really tough one because I have many, many highlights. I think with each milestone that you get to, that becomes a new highlight. So I finished my commercial license and I was actually just starting to learn how to be an instructor to teach other people how to fly when I got my position at Precision Air.
Wow.
And that became my new highlight. And then I did my rating, my new highlight. And every single flight is a new highlight for me because they're all so unique and different and beautiful.
Wow.
That is
beautiful.
That is nice.
But making it to the right seat of an aircraft as a first officer would be, that was my goal achieved.
That's just wow.
Shine. All I can say. Question 5 is, what is the difficult thing about being a pilot?
I would say the difficult part about being a pilot is definitely making the right call at the right time. Because in the aircraft that I fly, it's more or less 70 to 100 people. And sitting up front there, there's a lot of weight on your shoulders to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And to make sure that everything that you're doing is for their best safety.
Yeah.
Safety is first.
Yeah.
And to never ever take a chance or to doubt. But yeah, no, it's something that you do learn to live with. And actually now I really, really enjoy it. I suppose you could compare it to similar as a doctor. They've got a patient's life, that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Just the passion, they love it. And you learn to love that.
Yeah. I mean, with your answer and with the next question, before I go into the next question, I'd also watch those TV shows, air crash investigation. Yeah. And every time I'd watch it, I'd be like, yo, what's going through these pilots' minds? Like, it gives me quite a lot of anxiety every time I'd go into a flight. So with the next question, have you ever discovered a safety issue and what did you do about it?
So just want to touch a little bit on the aircraft investigation side. Those to us, as tragic as accidents are, they are important that they do happen. Otherwise, we wouldn't learn from them, and we wouldn't be able to better.
Yeah.
So a lot of those accidents were case studies for us as pilots, where we just try and make the better decision, and just But a safety issue, I suppose, it also may depend on the operation and where you are, in the bush or, where you're at OR Tambo or something like that. But yes, I have discovered technicals and maybe safety-related issues. These all get noticed probably during our pre-flight inspection. So we inspect the aircraft before every single flight to make sure that we can indeed go. And it all gets reported to the manager on duty, problem gets sorted out, and then we can dispatch the aircraft.
Okay. So how does it feel when you sit in the cockpit of a plane?
I suppose for me it's quite a normal feeling right now. It's a bit like another day at the office.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Pretty good office. But the very first time, when I first started at Precision Air and moving on to Tanzania and stuff like that. And it was exhilarating and exciting. And I was nervous. But it's a feeling I cannot describe it. It's something you can kind of only really feel. You are in control of a 23-ton machine. It has a lot of power behind it. And that is still small compared to some of the big boys. But it's, having all that power and that responsibility, at your fingertips, literally. And,
Okay. Actually, I've always wondered about this. Do you eat the same food as the passengers?
So pre-COVID, before it ruined everyone's lives, we generally would, yes. We would get an in-flight meal with whatever the passengers were having.
Yeah.
And today we are kind of limited to cashew nuts.
Just croissant and a coffee.
Really much. And orange juice.
Wouldn't mind just taking that or something.
Yeah, but a lot of us these days, we do generally pack our own lunch, or we order food wherever we're landing or something like that. But back in the day, yes, we got the same meals as the passengers. Yes.
Imagine mid-flight, let me just take my lunchbox.
No, you're like,
what are you having?
You're like, no, they're safe. I mean, it's still flying, so just...
The benefits of autopilot. It lets you have lunch.
Is there a high demand for pilots?
I would say that's a bit of a difficult question now with COVID.
With COVID.
Yeah, COVID has thrown a huge spanner into the works. I would say that pre-COVID, there was actually a big demand. If you look at all the manufacturers for aircraft, Boeing and Airbus being the top manufacturers, they estimated, I think the last predictions were in the next 5 years, they would need an additional 10 to 20,000 pilots.
That is a lot.
Just based on the aircraft orders by airlines.
Yeah.
So I suspect, that figure has dropped quite a bit. But the schools are still very active. If you look at 43, still got very, very full intakes, and a lot of the air schools around Johannesburg. So, people must just follow their dream.
And okay, so depending on your rank and where you are, how much do pilots get paid?
Another very difficult one.
Before
considering.
COVID, after COVID?
Um, I suppose it would depend on the operator or the company you're working for. Joburg, they're all different. Some airlines compared to like European airlines compared to African airlines, and we all at the moment taking kind of pay cuts at the moment to help our businesses out so that we can all survive and keep our jobs.
Yeah.
So more specifically with your question, are you looking for an exact figure or?
I mean, round it off.
An estimate.
Just an estimate.
And so I would say your smaller aircraft that are still commercial operations, like a caravan aircraft and stuff like that, anywhere between maybe 20 and 30. But then you get to the really big boys in Emirates, where it's anywhere between 100 and 200 a month.
Ooh. Now let me stop
That's a nice
flying.
paycheck. That is a nice paycheck.
200K per month.
Yes, but that obviously comes. You've worked your way through the system. You've now got over like 6,000, 7,000, 10,000 hours. It's those big planes, the A380s, the 40. That's really.
How long does it take for you to get to the big planes?
Experience. So for us, it's not about how many years you've been in the game. It's about how many hours you've logged in your book.
Okay.
And on what machine you're flying.
Okay.
You get your piston aircraft and then you get your turbine aircraft.
Yeah.
So turbine time is overly valuable towards your next step in progression in your career. But if the airlines are working normally and there's no COVID and stuff like that, you could expect maybe a jump to a bigger aircraft in about a year or two. But like I said, it depends on operation or what you actually want to do as a pilot. Where do you want to go? Is your goal to just carry on jumping big, all the way to the very end?
Yeah.
Or some guys are really happy, flying the smaller twin aircraft or mid-sized aircraft.
Yeah.
They're very comfortable there.
Ooh,
So
it's double decker.
it depends. It depends on your goal as a pilot where you want to go.
Yeah. Well, that's it. But I just want to say thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Big pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. No, thank you very much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Hero H, living the dream.
It might sound crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you wanna do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Don't hold it back. Yeah, but I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. Yeah, no offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you wanna do. Bring me down, king nothing. Bring me down, my level's too high. Bring me down, king nothing. Bring me down, I said. Bring me down, king nothing. Bring me down, my level's too high. Bring me down, king nothing. Bring me down, I said. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. And we will rise, so we'll rise, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day, I'll rise up. In spite of the ache, I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, high like the waves, we'll rise up. In spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you.
Hi guys, it's your girl Karama Mahatu back again with
Masi Chara, or you can just say Masi.
and today we have our special cutest
Yeah.
girl in the whole primary school.
And
Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Divya Sukram. I'm in grade 1.
ooh, cute. Do you like grade 1?
Yes,
How old are you?
6 years old.
All right, cute. Okay. Yo, Karabo, like, did you hear the pilot? What the pilot said?
Bruh, 20,000
Yes.
per month.
Yeah, ne? But
Want to be a pilot? Why not?
I don't like it.
yeah, it's fine. How she knows geography. But you'll see when you get there. So you guys are probably wondering, why is Masi and Karabo talking to a child? Well. We are playing
Are you smarter than your primary school?
yeah, and we started with a grade 1. So let's get right into it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes,
Your first question is, what's the funniest sound you can make?
a pig sound.
Can you
Please do
make
it for us. Cute. Okay. If you had to become a teacher for a day, what would you teach in the class?
I teach numbers
Numbers.
and spelling.
Do you like maths? Sorry.
Yes.
Really? I really wish I was you, because at this point.
Hey, can you
Mm-mm.
please teach me maths? Because some point.
Okay.
And then your other question is, if you suddenly had a power to become invisible, okay, what would you do?
I would play pranks on my parents.
Would you play?
What would you do? What pranks would you do?
I would prank them in the night.
In the night.
In the night, so that they think there's a ghost and the house is haunted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sleeping?
No.
No. Yeah, you'll be up all night pranking your parents
Yes.
until they get scared. All right. All right. But we can't do that because we'll get a hiding. So, anyways, how do you make someone happy?
I give them a card or something.
Give it a car. Buy me an Audi, girl. Girl, buy me an Audi, yeah, if you're gonna make me happy. Just joking.
Wait, do you really buy them a car?
A car. Okay.
Buy me a Range Rover.
Yeah, buy me an
Why
Audi.
preferably?
Yes, RS3 and yeah. Yes.
So, what color is the school uniform?
Navy blue.
Would
Navy.
you change it?
Isn't it green?
No.
It's not. It's not green. It's not purple.
No.
Right. Okay, it's navy blue. Are you sure?
Yes.
All right.
Change the school uniform.
No.
You wouldn't. You like our school uniform? Yeah, it's actually nice.
What's your favorite color?
Pink.
Why don't you make the school uniform pink?
No.
No, it's not gonna work,
It's
Karabo.
gonna work.
Imagine the boys wearing pink.
Follow your dreams, Masi. Follow your dreams.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Ne, when you are done at school, you must be a principal of the school. Ne?
Please just
Yeah. Make history. Anyways, what do you want to be when you grow up?
A vet.
Do you
Ooh.
have any kids?
No. But I have play.
Play pets. I see physics and pure maths in this girl's future. Yeah, you.
So, how does your mom and dad laugh? Okay, let's start with the mom. How does she laugh? Is that how she And then how does your dad laugh?
The same.
The
They,
same.
they love the same.
Isn't it like ha ha
Like ha ha ha.
And then
No. No.
Okay. Okay.
So, if you had to give all your toys away, who would you give them to?
To kids that don't have toys.
No.
You don't have toys. Okay. If you were
Two kids.
two kids that don't have sorry. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. You should get an Oscar for that. That's very sweet. A trophy. Is it me now?
Yes.
How many colors does a rainbow have?
7.
Yes.
Name them. Isn't it 5?
No.
It's 5.
Garabo.
Okay, please.
Come on.
Red.
Yes.
Blue.
Uh-huh.
Yellow.
Uh-huh.
Orange. Green.
Think it's
Pink.
Okay.
And maybe purple.
okay. Yeah. Actually, how Garabo 5. Huh? 5. You in high school 5.
No, but it could be like blue, red. As in, not
It can be what?
Not even try.
Yes, please.
Not even try. So what do you do when you wake up?
I brush my teeth and I change for school.
Even on Saturday. No, on Saturday, what do you do?
Saturday.
Saturday, like when it's not a school day.
I play with my brother.
Oh, is it your younger brother or older brother?
My younger brother.
How old is he?
2 years old.
Oh, so
Don't
cute.
you sometimes wake up and be like, I don't want to go to school.
What are you trying to?
No,
Whoa.
I do like to go to
Exactly. We also like to come to school.
Must you don't
Chikonomo tree. Yes.
Oh.
Okay. So
Oh, that's it.
what? No. What does a duck say?
Oh, yeah.
What does a duck say?
quack quack.
Yes. Quack 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 quack.
Like deeper.
Quack quack. You quack quack. Okay. No, but it's quack quack. Quack quack.
You're very smart.
Very smart. Like in future, like just make sure you do your homework. When your teacher tells you to do something, do it, please.
You do it, Masi.
Yes, I do.
like learn from me. I do my homework every day.
Okay.
Yes, I do my homework every day. My maths book is perfect. Okay. My reports I get 90s, 90s, 90s. I'm in the top 5.
Okay.
No, why are you
Must
laughing?
is not April Fool's. Can you just
Okay, so I'm in the yes, and I've got colors on my blazers. So just be good, okay? Yes. Keep up with your merits. Do you have merits?
Yes.
Yes.
7.
Yes, girl. Yes,
yes.
winner. Okay. Yes. Then you go to merit. Then you'll be okay. You're gonna be a smart girl.
Then they're gonna be proud of you.
Don't let bad people like.
Influence.
Yeah. Don't.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Well, that is it from me. Yeah. Us. Us. Sorry. And just telling.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yes. And
Thank you so much.
thank you for participating.
Really
appreciate really appreciate you. You. Yay.
She's so cute.
Nah. Guys, children love them so much. But anyways, that's it from us.
Tunas, get out. Oh, what?
Well,
It's been a while. It's been a while.
yeah. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Woke up in London yesterday, found myself in a city near Piccadilly. Don't really know how I got here. I got some pictures on my phone, new names and numbers that I don't know. Addresses of places like Abbey Road. Day turns to night, night turns to whatever we want. We're young enough to say,
Oh, this has gotta be the good life. This has gotta be the good life. This could really be a good life. Good life. Say, oh, got this feeling that you can't fight. Like the city is on fire tonight. This could really be a good life. A good life. To my friends in New York, I say hello. My friends in LA, they don't know where I've been for the past few years or so. Paris to China to Colorado. Sometimes there's airplanes I can't jump out. Sometimes there's things that just don't work out. We all got our stories, but please tell me what there is to complain about.
when you're happy like a fool, let it take you over. When everything is out, you gotta take.
Fruitful Friday.
What mental health is more sunlight, more candor, and more unchained conversation. A lovely quote by Glenn Close. Good afternoon, Kiro. It's been a while since we last spoke. How are you? I hope you're well. Last session, we tested the waters of the new segment here on the Kiro Helderberg Living the Dream radio station. It's an extension of Fruitful Friday, a series called the Mental Health Happy Hour, in which we introduce the KP segment, also known as the Kiki and Patu segment, where I, Patu, your lovely host and lovely host Kiki, talk all things mental health, confidence, and lifestyle. Fresh in the studio today, we've got Kiki. Why don't you give us a recap of our last session?
Of course. Hey everyone, it's nice to be here again. On last week's session, we gave you guys some geography on South Africa, statistics on mental health and mental health illness, as well as the severe demand for psychological help. We interviewed our school psychologist, Dr. Shireen, as well as the founder of a mental awareness organization, Stella Ings, who shared some powerful advice on mental health, how to cope,
and how to be more aware of it.
And today, people of Kiro will be talking about what exactly is mental health, its differences between mental illness and mental health, as well as the struggle of having to live with them in today's society. Now, of course, everyone is different and not the same. Many people may be experiencing different symptoms. If you are struggling with any mental health or mental illnesses, please seek medical attention. Tell a close friend, guardian, or teacher. Your well-being is valued and should be a priority.
Mental health, defined by the World Health Organization, is a state of well-being in which the individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. According to WHO or WHO, mental health includes subjective well-being, perceived self-efficacy, autonomy, competency, intergeneration, dependence, and self-actualization of one's intellectual and emotional potential, amongst others. For the perspectives of positive psychology or of holism, mental health may include an individual's ability to enjoy life and to create a balance between life activities and efforts to achieve psychological resilience. Cultural differences, subjective assessments, and competing professional theories all affect how one defines mental health.
Exactly. So, a mental disorder, also called mental illness or psychiatric disorder, is a behavioral or mental pattern that causes significant distress or impairment of personal functioning. Such features may be persistent, relapsing, and remitting, or occur as a single episode. Many disorders have been described with signs and symptoms that vary widely between specific disorders. Such disorders may be diagnosed by a mental health professional.
These definitions can be found on Wikipedia as well as other informative websites on the World Wide Web. So, Patu, what is the difference between mental health and mental illness?
So, often the terms mental illness and mental health are used interchangeably as if they are the same dimension. From this perspective, someone either has a disorder and requires treatment, or they don't need treatment and are fine. According to the Centers for Disease Control, also known as CDC, mental illness refers to the conditions that affect a person's thinking, feeling, mood, or behavior. These can include, but aren't limited to, depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, or schizophrenia. Mental health reflects our emotional, psychological, and social well-being, affecting how we think, feel, and act. Mental health has a strong impact on the way we interact with others, handle problems, and make decisions. Mental health is a state. Mental illness can be a condition or a disorder. In addition, WHO, also known as the World Health Organization, points out that there are some 800,000 individuals that die by suicide each year. About 20% of the world's children and adolescents have a mental disorder, and depression affects about 264 million people worldwide. But before we get to the struggles of having to live with mental health issues and illnesses, let's take a short break and breathe. We've got our cover visions coming up shortly. We'll see you soon.
She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. I said, oh my, but what do you mean? I am the one who dance on the floor and around. She said, I am the one who dance on the floor and around. She told me her name was Billie Jean, as cast to sin. Then every head turned with eyes of dream of being the one who dance on the floor and around. People always told me, be careful what to do. Don't go around breaking young girls' heart. And mother always told me, be careful who you love. Be careful what to do, cause life becomes so true, yeah. A Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. She says I am the one, but the kid is not my son. For 30 days and for 40 nights, love's on the side. But who can stand when she's in the mid? Her skin's and plans and dance on the floor and around. So take my strong advice. Just remember to always think twice. People always told me.
Of course, unless you're in a rush, then it's a different story and you're on your own. Number two, making eye contact with someone. When you're just like sitting and you randomly just make eye contact with someone, I think you should just greet and make conversation or just walk away because there's no getting out of that one. Number three, waving at someone that wasn't waving at you.
That's not good.
Like when someone is coming to your direction and they're waving, and then you turn around and they're actually waving at their friend. Like, yeah. So what do you do now? Do you just wave at someone else? You know, I can't help you with that one, but we move. I mean, there's nothing you can do. Number four, falling in front of people. Because you fall, it's okay maybe if you fall like backwards, but if you fall face first, it's a different story. Because everyone's looking at you, some people are laughing, people are asking if you're okay. It's just so weird and so embarrassing, honestly. Hi. And then when your card declines, number five, when you're on a date and you decide, babe, I'm gonna take you out. You take babe out, it's nice. The bill comes, no money, deadlines. Bad. It's bad. Or when you're shopping, grocery shopping, and then you go to the till and your cart declines. Honestly, some people make a scene and it's like, bro, you broke. Just move on. It's fine. Number 6, having a broken heel. You know, when you papad and you decided, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna speed that in front of everyone, and your heel breaks. Ish. That's when you know it's child and it's time to go home and rest. Rest, Buffett, to rest. Those were the 6 awkward situations I had today. If you want more, let me know. Thank you for having me. Once again, I'm your host, Lisedi. Bye bye.
Kiki's gonna give a brief description, then I start with questions.
And we're back. I hope you are well. And we're back. I hope you are well. Things are starting to get intense. And I want to say thank you to DJ Tinolo. That was a lovely mix. People with mental health conditions often have to live behind a veil of negative stigmas
Stigmas.
and hurtful
Perceptions.
perceptions for society. They may learn to feel ashamed of their conditions or to think that something is wrong with them. Some may feel like they are to blame for their mental health disorders, as if there was something they could have done differently to prevent it. Social media can increase the stigma. Excessive use can increase feelings of depression and discontent. Making a change in how you perceive and talk about mental illness could help others. The struggle of living with mental health issues in this society is very real. Environments like school, home can heavily affect your mental health.
And that's why it's so important to confide in someone you trust to help ease the stress and pain and take steps towards bettering your mental health. In the studio today, we have one of Cure Hildewig's English teachers who has a psychology background. who is Ms. Joanna, who will be interviewing today. It's a pleasure to have you here, ma'am. Let's start with the first question. So, what would your advice be to students who are suffering with any mental health problems and mental illnesses? Oh, sorry, let me repeat. So, what would your advice be to students who are suffering with any mental health problems and mental illnesses? What are your opinions?
Okay, my advice would be number one, please remember to be kind to yourself. I know it's not easy, the battles that you have in your head, the emotions that you feel every day, the tension in your muscles. It's not easy, but remember to be kind to yourself. Remember to breathe. Okay. We are here for you as well as a community, so we're on your team here, we're on your side. So you also need to be kind to yourself. My second advice there would be to develop a self-care routine for yourself. Okay. I know most of us love meditating because it centers us, it reconnects us with self, If that works for you, do more of that. Okay. If it doesn't work, then do what works for you. I know some people love being outside, playing sports, immersing themselves in nature, writing, journaling. Do that. Okay. Do what works for you and what makes you happy as an individual. Okay. And my last advice there would be do not drink alcohol or take drugs. No, it's tempting because what happens is you take those drugs and they numb the pain for those few hours and then you wake up and you're still sitting with the same problem. Okay? So stay away from drug and alcohol abuse. It's not worth it. Instead, it negatively impacts your development as a teenager. So stay away from those things. Right? And overall, try and have a balanced lifestyle. Focus on your body, your spirituality, emotions, your social life. Because I think the issue with mental health problems is that, like, we do not have or we do not take care of the other components, and that's why now you end up sitting with this other disorder or this issue because of that imbalance in your life. So it's important that you strike balance in your life, that equilibrium. You focus on all the different components that makes up the whole individual. Okay. So yes, that's it. Question 2.
So I do want to say add a few things that journaling and meditating has really helped me with my mental health, and it has helped me to stay grounded and more present with myself. So the next question would be, do you think school has a huge effect on a student's mental health, and how so?
Okay, my advice would be number one, please remember to be kind to yourself. I know it's not easy, the battles that you have in your head, the emotions that you feel every day, the tension in your muscles. It's not easy, but remember to be kind to yourself. Remember to breathe. Okay. We are here for you as well as a community, so we're on your team here, we're on your side. So you also need to be kind to yourself. My second advice there would be to develop a self-care routine for yourself. Okay.
One more question, and then
I know most of us love meditating.
Then I'm going to say a few
Because
words
it
and we cut short.
centers us, it reconnects us with self. If that works for you, do more of that. Okay. If it doesn't work, then do what works for you. I know some people love being outside, playing sports, immersing themselves in nature, writing, journaling. Do that. Okay. Do what works for you and what makes you happy as an individual. Okay. And my last advice there would be do not drink alcohol or take drugs. No, it's tempting because what happens is you take those drugs and they numb the pain for those few hours and then you wake up and you're still sitting with the same problem. Okay? So stay away from drug and alcohol abuse. It's not worth it. Instead, it negatively impacts your development as a teenager. So stay away from those things. Right? And overall, try and have a balanced lifestyle. Focus on your body, your spirituality, emotions, your social life. Because I think the issue with mental health problems is that, like, we do not have or we do not take care of the other components, and that's why now you end up sitting with this other disorder or this issue because of that imbalance in your life. So it's important that you strike balance in your life, that equilibrium. You focus on all the different components that makes up the whole individual. Okay, so yes, that's it. Question 2.
Thank you so much for the advice, ma'am. So, the last question is: can home life and situations around it affect a student's work ethic and mental progression?
Most definitely, our home lives and situations around it have a huge impact on our work ethic and our mental health. Okay, because now, if you come from a family that is broken and there's always abuse taking place, whether be it emotional abuse, financial abuse, physical abuse, it will impact you one way or another. Okay, so I think we need to just be conscious of that fact and just be aware that we all come from different families, and I mean, I cannot expect a learner to come to class and concentrate in my English lesson if, for instance, that learner didn't have breakfast this morning, not because she was late, but because there's no food in the fridge. They don't have food. Because what? Maybe the parents lost their jobs last year with this COVID-19 pandemic. Number two, another situation, you cannot expect, you get learners who never do their homework, okay? But you get some learners who, for instance, maybe part two didn't do her English homework today. Why didn't you do your homework today? Okay, well, because there was a situation at home. My parents were fighting, and as a result, I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't work after that. I had to sleep. Sleep in inverted commas because you go to bed and you overthink. You're not necessarily sleeping. So as a result, you come to class exhausted. So you get there, you sleep, not because the lesson is boring, but because you couldn't sleep because of what happened last night. Okay, so this is just a cycle. I mean, some learners cannot study at home because of the parents, the siblings are loud, they're always disturbing them, and it's just so the environment is so unconducive for them. So we always need to look, but however, we cannot just limit it to just the family. We also need to think about the community that you live in. You live in Soweto, the country, politics. Politics indirectly affect us. We're not aware of that, but it affects us, you know. So there are just many components in our lives that actually have an impact on our mental health. They have an impact on our work ethic. Because now you cannot, like I already highlighted, that we cannot now expect a learner who is being abused at home to pass that exam on Friday if maybe it happened again on Thursday evening, And yeah, man, hopefully teachers will become more sensitive and just see and pick up all these patterns and see when a learner is not okay, and intervene right there and then. But yes, it has a huge impact. I'll stop right there because I feel like I'm just going on and on and on.
Once again, thank you so much for answering these questions, ma'am. It was a pleasure to have you here. On a lighter note, today's session was quite a lot to process, but successful nevertheless. I'm handing the mic over to Kiki to close today's session. It was a wonderful time talking. talking to you guys. This has been Patu, your mindful motivator. Until next time, everyone.
What a wonderful session we've had today. It is all it is a lot to process, but at the end of the day, we as a collective have to raise awareness and influence others to walk the right path and of course strive for excellence. On our next session, we want to bring more light and positivity into our space and area. So we'll be discussing confidence and touching a little bit of mental health. This has been This has been the Mental Health Happy Hour, your lovely co host, Keeks. Remember, you are cherished, loved, and worthy. Until next time, everyone.
Hero H, living the dream.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blade from caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet on the screen, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you, 'cause there's a spark in you. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just on the night, like the first of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make them go, and just shout across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make them go, you're gonna leave them all in love. You don't have to feel like a wasted space. You're original, cannot be replaced. If you only knew what the future holds, after a hurricane comes a rainbow. Maybe a reason why all the doors are closed, so you could open one that leads you to the perfect road. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow, and when it's time, you know you just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just on the night, like the first of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make them go, and just shout across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make them go, you're gonna leave them all in love.
What's up, Sharp Fede? I'm Rene and I'm here with
Tawangambule.
and Solomon.
Solomon.
Well, so basically today we'll be speaking about movies. So have you guys seen the movie 222?
Yes.
No.
Yes,
I have seen all of
Well,
bruh.
what's going on?
Living under a rock, man.
Dude, it's a complicated but nice movie, bruh. And
The only plane movie is when Samuel L. Jackson flies the plane upside down. That's the only one I know.
I don't know that movie.
Yeah, it's like where the plane has a failure in the engine and then he needs to fly it upside down for him to land.
Whoa.
And that flight attendant breaks a leg. Yo, it's kind of funny actually.
I know.
You should watch 222.
Yeah, you should. I know Samuel L. Jackson from Snakes on the Plane.
Yeah.
That movie's stupid. I don't.
That movie's smart. Say that.
A person who plays video game landed it. You've never.
Hey
flied a
man,
plane in
if
his
someone's
life.
brave enough to go on a plane with that much snakes, fair.
But you must watch 222. So 222, man, this guy, he works at like the airport. So his job is to tell which flight to slow down, which one to speed up so that and tell them that okay, this place is safe to have all that. So when it starts, he zones out into his different world, and there's a plane coming, and there's one coming the same direction. So he,
Oh,
so
then
he
they go
tells
like-
the other to you full throttle, you slow down, and then the planes just like they just cross each other, and the passengers were scared.
And then he met a girl.
Who wouldn't
that was
be though?
on that plane.
Yeah, it always ends with a girl. Come on. Everybody knows it all ends with a girl in
But the
that
messed
case
up
at the
part is,
end.
man, it's like a reincarnation type of movie. So he falls in love with this girl, and then this girl's friend or this art guy is trying to break the relationship between the two so he can get the girl. And
Oh,
somewhere,
yeah.
somehow, someone always gets shot between them. And
Oh.
he died and it starts all over again.
Okay. Did you hear in USA a flight went out in 1990 something, nah? And then apparently didn't land. And in 2013, it landed at the airport, bruh. Everyone was wearing old clothes and everyone was confused.
No, I don't trust that though.
I also don't
I
trust
feel
it, but
it-
like,
I feel like
what?
it landed and then
So
they
let's
just
say you go on a flight, nah? You take off. When you land, it's 2013, like 7 years after you
So
took
they
off.
went into a timeline sort of
Yeah,
thing.
but the flight was 45 minutes.
They saw this for
So I don't know. Dude, they even checked the passports, bruh. Those were people in that time. The IDs and everything. So I don't want to fly anymore. Like, I don't want to fly.
Yo,
After that,
what's the scariest movie you've ever seen?
Purge.
Nah, not the Purge.
People are talking about it. That's all I know.
You should watch it. So the Purge is like on this specific day in America.
There's no
all
rules.
illegal activities are
Yeah.
permitted.
There's no
So
rules.
murder and all that. No, not the Purge. I've seen worse than the Purge.
The Conjuring.
Yeah.
The Conjuring. That's what's that movie's scary. Especially number 2. I wanna go see 3.
A wrong turn.
Yeah, when I started over and watched it.
Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn looks fake to me. That's why I don't wanna watch
It
it.
is fake. I've watched it. It's not
Like
something
blood is
to
ketchup there. I don't mess with that.
Would you guys ever let a film crew in your house?
Oh yes, bruh. I'd live an interesting life.
No.
Why?
The thing
Some
is,
things are meant to be kept private from the public.
But of
Which-
course.
So my life is meant to be kept private because it's my life. It's not a life to be broadcasted to other people. That's how I feel.
oh no, they're shooting their own movie, but
In
they
my-
like your house.
Okay, no,
for
then they
the
can do
movie.
that, but they must know that they're gonna pay a lot.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna pay a lot.
They're shooting movies at my
Every
house.
single
Yeah.
time the movie gets
It's
broadcast.
their movie, but they'll pay you to use the location.
If there's money involved, you know the deal.
If they're gonna shoot at my house, every time someone watches the movie or they get paid, now some money must come in my direction. Every time they see my house, they're like, oh no, that house, I know the guy who lives there. I was like, yeah, what my money? That's how I work.
Well, in that case, then if you had to shoot a movie about you, about your life, would you do it?
No.
And what would it be?
Sure,
about?
I think my life is my life. People will be crying. People will be laughing. Hey,
Would you let your children be actors and actresses?
dude, it's their life, dog.
Yeah.
It's their life.
We're trying to stop them because I mean, you can't stop a person from their dreams.
I mean, yeah, but so it's
So, would you guys leave a country to be famous?
Yo, leave South Africa, dog. South Africa's nice, bro. All the other countries are boring.
Okay, where you gonna go if you leave South Africa?
I mean,
let's start there. Number 2, when you leave South Africa, which jokes are you gonna hear about the president?
Yeah.
Like, dog, I still wanna see Jacob saying, "Come on," in Parliament.
Never mind that when he says the numbers.
Yeah.
When he says the numbers, that's
Like,
where
you know
I
what
want
I'm
to.
saying?
I want to be. It must be like he's gonna say, watch.
Because it's easy to move, and when you live there, you're gonna miss certain things, like a Gotham fit.
Yeah.
Peter won't replace a Gotham.
Yeah,
How Maheo, it's Geo,
Yeah, there are things, there are factors where you wouldn't want to leave.
How?
Best animated film.
Yo. Oh, that's a hard one.
Best animated.
I like Kung Fu Panda.
I was about to say that, but you must take into consideration the other ones. Like,
what's this movie's name? It's I think it's Warlock or something like that. So it's about these giant creatures, right? With like so that they look like warthogs, right? But like I forgot the name of the movie, but it's the best animated movie that I've watched personally. If I could just remember the name.
okay, to me it's Mastermind. I don't like the fact that he became a hero at the end. It was bound to happen when I watched it, but I was like, come on, Mastermind is a villain. Now everyone's cheering him on.
But I could say it was expected because it was a way for him to fit in because that was his. That was his.
I mean, I see movies have guidelines. They say, there must be a hero at the end.
Yeah.
They can't just say, being a villain is in They can't.
And then they should actually, because that would be nice.
Like you see Battle of the Year, at the end they were dancing. Other than other movies, them winning first prize, they won second prize. And that was a twist. And they were still happy, imagine. That was a twist. I like that.
Talking about happy, which movie has made you cry?
And fit. I think 5 feet apart. And that.
Oh, yes, that movie.
That was the only one that made me cry. Only one. And that wasn't even crying. That was just like a tear.
I'm not gonna lie.
Just one tear rolled.
I watched, like the past week, I watched Hobbit. I watched it like the 3 series, right?
The trilogy.
Like the trilogy, the whole trilogy. And at the end, not at the end, when the king of the dwarfs died.
Yeah.
That was a tough scene for me. Because there's this thing of as you watch it, you just connect with the characters and all that. And you're like, okay, at the end of this, he has to win because he's doing this for his people. And then he dies. And then he dies.
Oh, when you talk about dying, Game of Thrones takes the cake. I know it's not a movie, but like, people die. Like that show is not afraid to kill people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because
it's nothing.
Yeah, because some series or movies, they kill when the actor can't act anymore. I really bulala, bruh. Like people die, like serious people die. I was like, yo, Kevin Hart. It has to be Kevin.
It's either it's Kevin Hart or Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish. Yeah.
I don't like her voice. So
it's not like there's
Kevin
this,
Hart.
they've got this balance, right? Because they're both very funny, but in their own way.
In their own way, yeah.
So between those.
I mean, Kevin Hart all the way.
So funny, the funny one.
Oh, you see, who's this guy? You see in Fast and the Furious, it's Ludacris, and then the other black guy. Yeah,
that's very good.
I like it.
Okay, thank you very much. So these are the movies that will be coming soon. So we got Vanquish at the 23rd of April. We got Without Remorse at the 30th of April. We got Those Who Wish Me Dead, May 14th. We got Black Widow, July 9th. We got The Wrath of Man, May 7th. We got Space Jam 2, July 16th. We got Fast and Furious 9, the first saga, May 22nd. We got The Suicide Squad, August 6th. I guess it's a twist.
Those Who Wish Me Dead.
Yeah.
Irony.
Yeah, Those Who Wish Me Dead.
I
Those Who Wish Me Dead.
I'm not watching that.
Oh no, okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Thanks very much.
Study.
QH, living the dream.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was us, the Dream Team, signing out.
QH, living the dream.